So what we did was we drained the old gas out of the fuel tank here. We put in a bunch of fresh gas. We made sure that the fresh gas was getting to the carburetor. And then we turned the truck on. It started just fine. It was running a little rough, so we adjusted the carburetor. We let it warm up to temperature. And we adjusted the carburetor some more, because you should always adjust the carburetor when the engine is warm. And so we pulled out and drove it back here. And I get almost back here and I miss a shift. So I messed up the 3-2 downshift, and I decided to just stop and then put it into first gear and start all over. This was important because we were starting to go up a hill. So I, push clutch in, stop the truck, and the truck dies. And it won't restart. So my cousin pulls me up the hill and off to the side of the road, and we sit there, we get it started, and then we adjust the carburetor some more. We play with the fuel-air mixture a little bit, and we also bump up the idle RPM. So then we get it back here just fine, no incident. Then we take it for a drive around the block just to test it out. And we also adjusted the carburetor a little bit, bumped up the idle RPM, but anyway, but after all those adjustments, the truck seemed to be running really good. It held a steady idle, even after it had been up to temperature, even after it had been driving, had the RPMs go up a little bit. When it came back down, it didn't die out. So I think that we've got the truck squared away. Knock on wood. So we are going to do something kind of stupid. Since I was able to drive it a couple miles without it stalling out, why not drive it like 20 miles to a car show? Seems like a good idea. So, it is now 7:43. Wow, I am burning daylight. So, my cousin is going to be here at 10, and that is when we are leaving to go to this car show. He's going to follow me down just to make sure that I don't break down or anything. But, in the meantime, this cab is a bit of a mess, because it's got all the stuff that I just normally have in it, and some stuff that I just set in there. And then it's got all the tools from when we were fixing it over at the garage. And I also need to add some more stuff that I tend to take out. So this is an impact wrench. This uses air to act like a drill. It's not actually a drill, it's an impact. They function slightly differently. Let me know if you want a video on how an impact wrench works. But basically this will help us take off the tire if we ever need to. Now unfortunately I don't have any spare tires that are not on the trucks. Well, I have some flat ones, but those won't help. So I thought about going down to the GMC and taking off one of the tires and putting it on the spare tire carrier so that I have a spare tire. That would probably be the smart thing to do, but that's time consuming and difficult, and I really don't want to deal with it. Even with the impact, and even if I drove the truck down here so that I don't have to roll the tire up the hill, that'd still be a lot of work. So, if this thing gets a flat tire, well, we can either come back here and grab a tire, or we can just take one of the tires off the back. Because really, you don't need both back tires when you don't have anything in the back. So I can just take one of the tires off the back and, make it work. But I am going to bring the impact wrench, because I know the more we prepare, the less that's going to go wrong. So we're going to be as prepared as possible That way we don't get any flat tires. Speaking of tires, I got my air hose all tangled up, but we're going to need it. We're going to need this air hose once I start the truck up, because I'm going to use the air pressure from the air brake system to pump up the tire, the driver's side front tire. It's a little low, so we're going to pump it up. Here's the sockets for the impact and the extension for the impact. So I'm going to take these tools in here and just put them into this box here. Okay, this is my spark plug removal toolkit. I've got a spark plug wrench, and I've got the specially modified wrench for the spark plug wires. It's shaved down on the sides here and here, so that it can get between the spark plug wires on the distributor and inside the block, so it can turn them far enough to get them off. So we will go ahead and put that right in this outside pocket here. I'm trying to organize things as much as possible so that if we break down, or even if we don't, it'll be easier to put all this stuff away. So there's some pliers. If you use tools on your brake system, so if you're bleeding brakes with wrenches, or you're tightening brake lines or whatever, any possibility of getting brake fluid on your tools, you really want to clean them off afterwards with some brake cleaner, because otherwise the brake fluid can really rust your tools. And since these are nice tools, I want to keep them that way. The oil doesn't really do much to them, you know, it kind of lubricates them, so it's fine, but the brake fluid can really eat away, especially if that chrome coating gets chipped at all. Brake fluid will make that rust out really quickly. So I don't know where that stopped recording, but basically I just cleaned up the tools on the other side, put them into a toolbox, and now I'm going to put some stuff into this little toolbox that's, right now it just has the lug wrench for the tires, and the road flares, the little triangle caution sign things that you put out when you break down on the side of the road. And then it's got a couple of wood blocks. These wood blocks work with this jack and the jack pad that is down underneath the passenger seat to be able to lift up the axle to remove the tire. So I'm going to put the jack in. And I'm going to put the impact gun in here as well. And once we're done filling up the tires, the air hose will go in there. And I gotta see what else might be able to fit in there. Okay, this grease gun will be able to fit in here. And somehow the socket set fits in there, so that's about everything we're going to put in there. Like I said, we're going to add the air hose once we fill up this tire here, because that tire there is a little flat. Well, it's only flat on the bottom. The mice really got into the truck this winter. I don't know. They haven't been getting into the truck very much, but I don't know. This year there's a lot more signs of mice than usual. Okay, so I got some oil back there. I got some work gloves right there. Coolant's going down in behind there. Got PB blaster, brake clean and brake fluid. Brake fluid can go down right here. PB Blaster, brake cleaner. And then this tool bag can go right up here. I wish I had time to vacuum this truck out, but I don't.